Per Greg Swartz, Billy Donovan is now on the hot seat for your Chicago Bulls. Y'all know we gonna talk about it, break it down, talk a little smack too, because it's Billy Donovan. But you know, you gotta hear the music first.
Cognac. Gang.
Shy Bulls podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, and I'm holding it down on this episode, bringing you guys the latest Chicago Bulls breaking news. Now, it has been reported by Greg Swartz that Billy Donovan is now on the hot seat. Greg Swartz goes on to say, although Billy Donovan is considered a successful coach by the front office, now with a completely revamped team, it is believed that the partnership can come to an end by the end of this season for Billy Donovan. My man's Greg Swartz mentioned that now, while it has been admirable for keeping the Chicago Bulls hovering or around 500, that the team right now looks far more different than, you know, what he originally started with. And if we can remember, Billy Donovan, the reason he left OKC is because he didn't really want to be a part of a rebuild. The Chicago Bulls pretty much gave him a decent team to run with to see if he can make something out of that by giving him DeMar DeRozan, Alex Caruso, Zach LaVine re-up, going out to get a Nikola Vucevic, drafting Patrick Williams, et cetera, et cetera. It is now believed that Billy Donovan is not the right guy to lead these young guys. I really thought in the beginning that Billy Donovan, now he's getting his floor general, maybe they was going to try to recreate some type of magic, but according to Greg Swartz, he doesn't necessarily thinks that's the case. In his article that's on Bleacher Report, if you guys are wondering where you can find it, it's on Bleacher Report. It's under Billy Donovan, you know, because he listed a number of coaches that's on the hot seat. Under Billy Donovan, he said Donovan and Chicago are not going to last long, whether it's a firing or a mutual split. Expect the Bulls to look for a younger head coach who specializes in player development and for Donovan to explore opportunities with a win now organization. So it's very, very interesting when it comes to this Billy Donovan talk. I believe, hey, it is what it is. Hey, Billy Donovan, I ain't going to hold you, big dog. I did encourage you to take the Kentucky drive. That's all I'm going to say. Because if we talk about Billy Donovan, I'm not going to come out here and say he's a horrible coach, but he is a very, very questionable coach for sure. You know what I'm saying? Billy Donovan, he'll come out and give you a great game and then come out and give you two bad games to where you don't understand the rotation. But hey, if we keeping it a bucket, ain't too many great coaches around the NBA, and even some of the great coaches still make bonehead mistakes by overanalyzing and overthinking. Billy Donovan is one of those. And you can tell how frustrated he is or what's running or what hamster is running on his wheel in his brain by paying attention how hard he chewed that damn gum he chewed by standing on the sideline. Just pay attention. It's really right there, man. Just pay attention. That's all you got to do is simply just pay attention to Billy Donovan. And I'm not surprised that he's now being considered to be placed on a hot seat. I mean, everything was given to you. Everything is not absolutely his fault, but he is the captain of the ship. You don't have a good relationship with your star. The person that you believed in is no longer here. That's DeMar DeRozan. You can't get much out of your big. We haven't seen a step forward from Patrick Williams. We've seen a little bit out of Kobe White and Ayo Dosunmu. Yeah, they took steps forward. We don't know. Dalen Terry looks like he's coming around. But I'm with Greg Swartz when it says the Bulls need to be focusing on player development. Simply because it's the process or the progress has been too slow for the likes of us when it comes to this roster. Now, I don't know how much input Billy Donovan has had with this roster, but we do know the stats speak for themselves. At the bottom of the league in offense. You was at a decent spot 2 years ago defensively, but last year you had a drop off in that as well. We got to point to the front office when it comes to some of the players that you picked up in Javon Carter. You know what I'm saying? In Javonte Green. Not saying that these are terrible players, but one of the guys that you acquired or the front office acquired in Javon Carter underperformed. Javonte Green was a good addition, but not necessarily needed what you needed to win more games for the Chicago Bulls. So it's an interesting thing. And honestly, I'm not even mad at it because at some point, bro, enough has to be enough. Options have to be explored. And I believe right now, with the Chicago Bulls and where they are, they have to start evaluating all the talent. Now, they said that this is a possibility that can come for Billy Donovan by the end of the season. So it makes sense. We got rid of some of the older players, brought in younger players. We was able to draft a top 5 pick with the 11th pick this season. So we got to see if you can help Montes Buzelis step up and develop. We helped revamp your coaching staff. We got rid of Mo Cheeks, who's hella cheeks. We got rid of Chris Fleming. And one of the other guys, I'm sorry, I can't remember his name right now. But we got you Wes Unseld, who has head coaching experience. And then another coach, I can't remember the name right now too either, because I'm just so lost for words right now and puzzled because I ain't expect this day to come right now. I ain't expect this day to come right now. That's just me. Because the dog days for Chicago Bulls basketball and the talk is kind of dry right now. I ain't expect this, especially when the Chicago Bulls organization has handed deals under the table. We still don't know how many years left on the deal. That's all I'm saying. And then at one point, we heard that Billy Donovan could be in contention to move upstairs if Mark Eversley was going to accept the Hornets job. Nah. And then y'all come give me this. This is great to see. This is great to see because if I'm looking at other Chicago teams right now, I'm just saying the Bulls are behind. Both of Jerry Reinsdorf organizations are terrible right now. The Bulls are in flux. The White Sox stink. You look at the Cubs, at least they're more competitive than the White Sox. You look at the Blackhawks, at least they got young talent over there and they appear as they're going to elevate. You look at the Chicago Bears, it appears that they're starting to do things right and now ready to elevate. You look at the Chicago Sky and look at the young talent around there and the additions they just picked up looking like they ready to elevate. But what about your Chicago Bulls? Still stuck in mud. I'm all for the youth movement. I am, 100%. I'm all for the youth movement. I call for it. But is Billy Donovan the guy? That's what me and C-Dub been asking for the last few weeks. Is Billy Donovan the guy to maximize this young roster? It's not an easy job. This is why we came to the terms and did a live and pretty much talked about this is going to be Billy Donovan's tallest task. It really is. Because now first of all, you got disgruntled superstar on your squad. You got old big man with a bunch of young talent, and you got so many talented young players. How do you make your rotations work? So it's something that we got to look at for what it really is, y'all. Billy Donovan, front and center, bro. How much grace are we going to give you? I know I ain't giving you no grace, but I'm speaking from the front office side. And the craziest quote about this, all this is there's belief that Billy Donovan has been successful in the Bulls as the Bulls head coach. What? I know y'all done seen grown-ups when the family and they ain't got no hair in the middle and they say, what? That's the exact reaction that I had when they wrote that. Greg Swartz wrote that. The front office believes that this man has been successful. Where? If you call in one playoff win in your entire tenure since you've been here, which is like 5 years now, one playoff victory, one playoff appearance, we calling that a success? No, sir. We talking about going to the play-in the last 2 seasons. Then you perform one and you get one good game, and then you come out and wet the bed against Miami 2 seasons ago. Then last season, really no chance. You know what I'm saying? So we calling that a success? No. This is why we started to look at the BS that this front office continues to perpetuate and put out there and act like we just got to accept it because they said it. Hell no. Not on this platform. Not on this platform. You can't tell me fat meat ain't greasy. That's for my old head. Shout out to y'all. That's for my old head. He can't tell us fat meat not greasy. He can't tell us that a pig ain't pork. Stop playing with us and trying to treat us like we ain't like we don't understand what's going on around here, y'all. Stop playing with us. So it's just like, how can you look at this tenure with him and say that he's been a successful coach? What? Because we made the play-in twice and made the playoffs once? That's not good enough. I understand the injuries and the things that transpire within Billy Donovan's roster. But we've seen some of the best coaches get the most out of their rosters with very little help. Do we forget how many players went down for Tom Thibodeau last season? Do we forget? No, we didn't forget. Jerry Reinsdorf? No, we haven't forgot. So miss me with that. The guy, he all right as a coach, but he ain't all that. I tell you that. So it is what it is. But I find it really, really entertaining. I ain't gonna lie. It's very entertaining to believe that Billy Donovan is finally on a hot seat. For real. That's just all I gotta say. And I'm with Shay on this. Shout out to my guy Shay. I'll believe it when I see it. With all things considered, I'll believe it when I see it, man. Again, y'all cannot fool Bulls Nation. Maybe you find a bunch of young, teenagers, who hyped up about just coming to the games and buying Bulls merch. But the ones that been doing this shit for decades, even my old heads who got to watch Michael Jordan win championships, they've known this performance, and this team has been underperforming for a while now. Even with all things considered. You could have did this years ago. Not even gonna lie to you. You ain't had to re-up on Billy Donovan. You could have did this years ago. So I believe it when I see it. I'm rocking with Shay on that. Tay in the building. What up, my guy? Finally get his ass out of there. Hey, I'm just saying. If he come out and this team underperforms, this young squad underperforms, and we don't see this is the criteria. And y'all tell me if y'all agree with it or not. Billy Donovan keeps his job if. It's a lot of ifs. If you figure out your rotations to where you can get the most out of your players. That's either with Zach LaVine or without him. Patrick Williams now becomes a 16 to 18 point scorer. That's enough. You got to get the best out of the guy you just paid. Another guy you just paid. You trying to boot the one you already paid. So you got to do something with the one that you got paid and that's younger and could still be around for a while. We need to see that. We need a clear and concise plan to get the best out of Montes Buzelis. By the end of the season, we got to be like, hey, it should be no question, or it should be a well thought out discussion what Montes Buzelis is going to be in year 2. That's a fact. And I need to see some cojones from Billy Donovan. Nikola Vucevic, you're not doing what I need you to do. I'm not just going to keep pointing at Zach LaVine and circling him out during a film session. We got to keep it a buck for Nikola Vucevic and all the other players. Then you should be in the play-in. You should be in the play-in. That's just me. You should be in the play-in with this squad. That'll be a success. Finally a success with that. So it's a lot of ifs. It's a lot of ifs. For real. Nas in the building. What up, my guy? Juke. Just what I've been waiting for. Billy Donovan Firing Podcast. Hey, y'all already know, because once the season starts, it's going to get litty. And if Billy Donovan ain't doing his job, y'all know we going to let him have it. We going to let him have it. For real. V-Dog in the building with the wrench as well. Shout out to you, my guy. He said this is a great move. It's a different roster than what he's used to. Donovan works well with a veteran squad. We're not a rebuilding squad. We have a lot of good talent here, but a change of voice is needed. And I think that's the biggest part. I do believe that a change of voice is needed. I absolutely do. But sometimes when you let certain people go out of your locker room, you can get the best out of some of the players because now they know their responsibilities have changed. You look at Kobe White, His responsibility has changed. Josh Giddey, he's coming in with a different type of responsibility that's now about to be handed to him. Ayo Dosunmu as a leader, who gonna be most likely coming off the bench, at least from my projections. Responsibilities have changed. Ain't no more leaning on DeMar DeRozan. Ain't no more leaning on Nikola Vucevic anymore. Mark Eversley put it out there for us to take. Now, if we taking these guys for their word, Mark Eversley, this is one I will take. It ain't about Zach and Vooch no more. That's the words that came out that man's mouth. So front office and Billy Donovan, if it ain't about Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic, do something to show me that you mean business. Look at this. Would Billy Donovan show you guys that he mean business if he benches Nikola Vucevic and brings him off the bench in favor of the young guy, Jalen Smith, who's going to run the floor better with the Josh Giddey, with the Zach LaVine, with the Kobe White, with the Patrick Williams? Jalen Smith is going to run the floor better. So show me something. Don't tell me. Show me. Show me that it's now about these young players. Because Nikola Vucevic, I believe, can be good in spurts. I believe if you're getting 20 minutes off the bench, 20, 25 minutes off the bench, figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Figure it out. 20 minutes off the bench. With the way he rebound and be able to have some activity offense versus some of the other tools around the league that ain't going to be able to do much with him, he should be all right. So do something that's going to show me that you mean business. Don't tell me about it. Don't tell me about it. For real. Y'all heard Drip, stop playing with us. And why y'all let it, get my brother to that 20K. He's so close. Get my brother who deserve it. Putting in that work harder than anybody that I know. Get my brother to that goddamn 20K. That's it. But nonetheless, Stand Up Rivera in the chat talking about this pod is fire. This channel fire. It ain't fire without y'all. That's all I'm going to say. Me and C-Dub, we got hella energy, but it'll be dry as hell if we ain't have y'all. It's just going to be a bunch of energy bouncing back and forth from screen to screen. Y'all know how it go, but the chat be live. The chat be live. That's all I'm going to say. For sure. Dan in the building said, what's up, bro? I said, what's up, my guy? For real. Yo, Bobby, it was originally a 2-year extension when it was mentioned last offseason. He got extended. We didn't know about it till Casey reported, yep, you are right, about his possible departure to Kentucky a while back. You are absolutely right, my brother. That's why we got the best chat in the world. Because y'all come in and y'all bring that stuff that sometime might slip through. But I'm excited about it. I'm excited about this talk. My guy Drip say BD gotta go to the guy with Javon Carter. You ignorant, bro? Ignorant. You can never stop Drip from being a little ignorant. He got some decorum as we've been throwing out there, but he a little ignorant too. It's okay, but for sure. Vidal said, I don't know how you feel, bro, but management has earned my trust again after major roster and coaching upgrades in the offseason. That's an interesting take, and I want to chime in just to provide one. I will say they did garner a little bit of trust, but it ain't the trust that I can't go back to the trust and the belief that I had when he first went out that offseason and got Caruso, DeMar, Lonzo. I was ecstatic. I said, times are changing. So I got to tread lightly. But I can agree with you on this. The changes to the coaching staff, they all made sense. You went out and got guys who are, who dealt with younger players on their respective teams, especially Wes Unseld. You know what I'm saying? So he dealt with that. And you added another guy who had some head coaching experience as well. You said to hell with DeMar DeRozan. Not necessarily, but you let DeMar go. And you've been trying to get rid of Zach LaVine. Like, it's been known that you've been, been trying to get rid of Zach LaVine. I can't fault you for effort. If don't nobody want him, don't nobody want him. So I would say they gained a little bit of trust back. But I got to see the product on the floor before I say, I bet. And the Montes Buzelis, when you were selecting him, because they actually could have said, man, to hell with Montes and let him continue to fall. I would say you got lucky. But I say, hey, you did the right thing by executing the trade. I mean, executing, the selection. So I would say, yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, but I gotta tread lightly. I gotta keep it buck. I gotta keep it a buck. I gotta tread lightly on that one. That's all I'm saying. I agree with you, but I gotta tread lightly. Londale, I hope I said your name right. Shout out to you, my guy. Thanks for joining. He said, I trustfully think he will be moved up to the front office. That was a discussion that was once a thing. It was. And I think it's interesting. I'm not saying that he has this type of acumen. I'm not saying he can even be this great. But my question is, do we think Brad Stevens is a better head coach or a better GM? You ask me for my opinion, I say a better GM. He couldn't get to the finals with his roster. Move him upstairs. Ime Udoka comes in, gets to the finals. Joe Mazzulla comes in, gets to the finals. Wins the finals. More success as a GM, right? So it's not out of the realm that Billy Donovan can just be better suited in the upstairs. It's not out of the realm. I just don't know how I feel about it. I know it's a possibility that it can go well, but I still don't know how I feel about it because I feel like Bulls fans, we got PTSD for how much gum we didn't see be chewed on a court. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. It's a little interesting, though. But I love that take, though. I love it. V-Dog said, I'm not saying I'm trusting him fully. You can't stay stagnant, but I do believe this is a better course of direction. Yes, perfectly said. This is absolutely yeah. That's definitely better said. For sure. Drip said, Bobby be talking like he giving a sermon when he start cooking. He might as well, in his sentence, say, well, yes, Lord. Well, yeah, Lord. Ah! I'm just saying, we done seen bro we like, bro, Billy, bring DeMar back in. And the whole time we yelling, bring DeMar back in, the damn broadcast got Billy Donovan chewing gum. That's all we said. We like, bro, bring Zach back in. Bring DeMar back in. Like now, bring Vooch back in. Why you take Drummond out, bro? Drummond is hoop balling right now. Like what? It'd be crazy, man. That's all I'm saying. The one mister, he said, Bobby, what's good, my guy? What do you think if the Bulls get Stacey King as a new head coach? I think it'll be interesting to see. I know Stacey King gonna hold guys accountable. I know he ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. I know he gonna preach the importance of KYP, know your personnel. Because sometimes when we watch Chicago Bulls, we're like, bro, how did you not know Isaiah Joe was a shooter? And who the hell is Isaiah Joe? I'm just saying. In the beginning, I'm like, who the hell is Isaiah Joe anyway? But that ain't my job to scout OKC. That's their job. They going into the matchup. I'm just like, damn, we going against OKC. What's Shea finna do? And then Isaiah Joe come out and make a name for himself because Billy Donovan didn't spread the word or his team wasn't prepared. So I know Stacey King. Hey, we seen many players come back and be exceptional head coaches. I think Stacey King, he got one thing that matters the most. Championships, experience, and he gonna keep it a buck. That's all we know. That's all we know. For real. All right, just I'm gonna be here for a few little minutes. Mr. Fundy, I hope I said that right. But thanks for joining the show. Said seems this won't occur for a while. Front office better have a good plan and candidates. That's a fact. Because you can say this all you want, but if you ain't got good candidates, I don't know. If I'm looking, I'm trying to poach somebody from Ty Lue's staff or Eric Spoelstra's staff. That's who I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? Somebody with some experience and that's been behind a champion. Yeah, we know Drip. It was just something good to talk about. Y'all know Drip gonna come with the facts. Stacey don't want to coach. But if he was a coach, I think he'd do well. You know what I'm saying? But some people don't want to coach. It's a headache. Y'all ever coach flag football for kids? Oh, hell no. I did it 3 years in a row, but it's probably one of my best accomplishments for sure. C-Dub gonna lose his shit if BD is gone at the end of the season and Vooch still the starting center. You already know. And he gonna bring that sriracha. We talk about Stacey. Yo, Bobby, your thoughts on a hometown kid, Shaka Smart. He's hella experienced at multiple stops on the collegiate level. He can better relate to the guys. He only in his mid-40s, I believe. See, that's one thing on do, V-Dog. is bullshit to people. I don't know who this guy is, but I will do my due diligence. I'm finna write it down. I got you. And ask me next time we see you. Ask me tomorrow. I got you. Ask me tomorrow. I wrote this down. I gotta do my homework. I ain't gonna bullshit the people and act like I know who this guy is. That's not what I do. If I don't know, I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and act smart. I'm an intelligent young man. We don't bullshit. Sandroko, what up? In the building. Jay Capone, what up? What up, my guy? The wheelchair Ja Morant. Hey, don't show the blicky. Don't show the blicky, big dog. Hey, but that's it, y'all. Just wanted to come here, talk a little stuff about Billy Donovan. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. And shout out to Greg Swartz for giving us content. You feel me? I'm always excited to do these things. So shout out to them. But hey, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Make sure before you go, you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. The support has been tremendous from you all, and we really, really appreciate it. Make sure y'all go over there to Bulls, Chicago Bulls Central, and get my brother to that 20K, and make sure you subscribe here on the same day. It's bossing. But if you want to be a part of our mailbag episodes, you can call in. These take place on the weekend. Call in, state your name, leave your take on whatever Chicago Bulls. The number to call in is 773-242-9219. Thank y'all so much. Make sure y'all always see red and hold this team accountable. But y'all already know. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one for sure.